This week's US CQM Forecast Alert is the biggest uncertainty for the economy in 2024 Q4 is December inventories. December retail sales increased more than ARIMA had forecasted, leading to an upward revision in personal consumption expenditures and economic growth rate by PCA forecast. However, PPI grew much faster than ARIMA had predicted, leading to a downward revision in business inventory changes. As a result, the upward trend in economic growth rate has been maintained, and the average economic growth rate on both the expenditure and the income sides, which is considered to be the better measure of economic growth rate, has been revised upward to 3.02%. This is a solid economic growth. The economic growth rate on the expenditure side is a relatively weak 2.50% due to the inventory changes compared to the economic growth of 3.54% on the income side. Growth rate of real final sales is 3.63%, more than 1% higher than the real GDP growth rate of 2.50% on the expenditure side. All inflation indicators from the CQM indicate that they are stable between 2% and 2.5%, which is the upper limit of the acceptable inflation rate. Given the economic growth rate and upward trend seen in the CQM forecast, the Fed is likely to keep interest rate unchanged at the FOMC meeting on January 28th and 29th. The reason why the PCA growth rate is as low as the CQM expenditure side at 2.69% is due to inventories, because the positive impact of December real retail sales on economic growth is partly offset by the negative impact of November real business inventories. Real retail sales increased by 0.06% in December, beating the ARIMA forecast of -0.05%, having a positive impact on economic growth. However, real business inventories have been declining in October and November, and are now forecasted to fall to -0.39% in December, further down from the last week's ARIMA forecast of -0.11%. Conclusion from this week's US CQM Forecast Alert. The first, economic growth rate in 2024 Q4 is expected to be around 3%. The second, the biggest uncertainty for economic growth is business inventories in December. The third, the inflation rate has stabilized at 2% to 2.5%. However, the fourth, the PCA forecast indicate an upward trend in the GDP price deflator. The fifth, the Fed is likely to keep interest rates unchanged at the FOMC meeting on January 28 and 29. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast.